What's up, y'all? And welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today I asked the question, is there anything that you love so much, whether it's a hobby, something you enjoy doing, that you would travel to the ends of the earth, that you would go above and beyond to find that thing you love so much, or to obtain that thing that you so greatly enjoy? And so that brings us to two series I want to touch on today. One is an anime called Ascendance of a Bookworm. I watched seasons 1 and 2. I'll go more in detail about that in a second. And then a manga, Magus of the Library. Now, Ascendance of a Bookworm is a series that I had I've known about for a little bit, and I've seen like screenshots and stuff here and there. But, I never just like fully gave it like the time of day until maybe like a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago. I was doing my first little Twitter space on Twitter, and a couple of buddies of mine jumped in. We were just chit-chatting about stuff that we're excited about, and one of them had mentioned about Ascendance of Bookworm because season 3 just started with the spring anime season. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to add that to my list and I'll check it out. And then Magus of the Library, that is one that I'm pretty sure like in passing glance, I saw the volumes and stuff in the store, but never paid it no attention or whatever until a couple of things I saw. I'm trying to think. I can't remember which happened first, but basically I saw around the same time I saw channel I follow, Hobbies of a Man. He did a review of volume 1, and I watched like a few minutes of it just to get like a general idea. But also, when I picked up Blue Period volume 6, and y'all know how much I love Blue Period. If y'all haven't listened to my review, go check that out. But in the back of Blue Period, you know how, some manga and stuff will have ads and stuff, advertisements for other series in the back. Well, right next to Witch Hat Atelier, which is another series I love, was Magus of the Library. So I scrolled over a few shelves at the store. They didn't have volume 1 and 2 at the time, but I just grabbed the volume and just kind of just like flipped through it. And the art was freaking fantastic. And so thus began my hunt for volume 1. I eventually got it, and I have now read volumes 1 through 5, which I will have a in-depth spoiler talk about that in a separate episode. But today I just want to just kind of talk about both of these series together because they kind of follow similar themes of both of the main characters of the series have a strong love and passion for reading and for books. So, starting with Ascendance of a Bookworm, basically it follows, I'm trying to think what was her name before she got reincarnated. So it follows a woman named Urano, who she was in college and she was working at a bookstore, and she was working her way up to becoming a librarian when unfortunately the thing that she loves kills her. There was an earthquake that happened. Tons of books fell off the bookshelf and crushed her. She ends up dying and getting reincarnated into this 5-year-old girl's body in this fantasy world. But the little girl, she is very sickly. So she has a loving family. She has a father who is like a guard in town. Her mom and her older sister are kind of like seamstresses and stuff like that. And so she kind of, of course, the main thing on her mind is books. And she's like, hey, where are the books? Where's the library? All this stuff, whatever. And unfortunately, she is in a situation to where only the elite of elite people in this world get to read books. Because first of all, not many people in this world know how to read and write. But the joys of getting a book and owning a book is something that is reserved for like the high elite families and people and stuff. And thus begins her kind of journey to do whatever it takes for her to obtain these books. And so she kind of uses her knowledge of normal stuff to kind of help make money and to kind of ascend through the hierarchy to get closer and closer to books, because she basically kind of starts off trying to make her own book and stuff, whatever. And so it's a long journey, lots of trial and error. But one thing I love about it is like some of like the simplest stuff that she comes up with to make money is simple stuff like or just simple ideas as far as like she got her father to carve a little like a stick into basically a hairpin, because she was like, hey, she wants to have her hair kind of tied up a little bit or whatever. A simple stick, boom. People are like, oh my God, how's your hair up? People freaking out. She made pancakes one time. Everybody lost their mind. They're like, yo, what is this? And so it is just a whole host of variety of her making different food items and different tools and stuff. And she, along like I've only seen through the end of season 2. I haven't started season 3 yet, but through those 2 seasons, she of course had this young 5-6-year-old girl coming up with all these ideas and inventions and stuff. But of course, that is garnering a lot of attention, and so eventually she ends up becoming an apprentice, and so on and so forth. And along the way, she's kind of like doing whatever she can to get her hands on books and things of that nature. So real quick, pivoting a little bit over to Magus of the Library, a kind of similar situation, but not an isekai. But the main character of Magus is a young boy named Theo Fumis, who is basically, he's called a mixed blood, to where he is born of 2 different races, but he is born in a super poor, out in the desert, small country town, to where people mistreat him because he looks different because of him being mixed blood. He looks different. He has this very unique blonde hair, kind of like pale looking skin, and so on and so forth. But he is being raised by an older sister, which clearly she adopted him or something, because she looks nothing like him. she's like a darker skinned chick, whatever. But she loves and cares for Theo, and basically works to the bone to provide him with a good life. Well, Theo loves books, but he gets discriminated against because of how he looks, because he's poor. And so the guy that runs the library is always chasing him out, being like, no, you're banned, you're not allowed to enter the library, because if people see you in here, it's going to sully the good name, and yada 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 yada. Well, along the way, this group of people called Kafna come through town. They're from this place called the Central Library, which is the hub for all books in this world. So every new book, everything is cataloged here and distributed from this location. And these Kafna are people that kind of travel around to the libraries across the country, making sure that people are staying within, code and certain standards, and picking up any like lost artifacts or books of high importance and stuff like that. So anywho, a group of them come through town. One of them's name is Sedona, and I would equate Sedona, he is kind of like, to me, he is a mix of Shanks from One Piece, but also Sinbad from Magi and the Labyrinth of Magic. Now, the Shanks comparison, think of it basically of like if Shanks gave Luffy a book instead of the straw hat. That is how I see Sedona. But through them meeting or whatever, it kind of gives Theo this boost of confidence of like, hey, you can be more than what you are. You can chase your dreams. And so he begins his journey to try to become a Kafna himself. And so like a really cool similarity between both Ascendance of a Bookworm and Magus of the Library is that both of them kind of have like coming of age moments to where in Bookworm, once you hit the age of 7, you get baptized and then you can become an apprentice for somebody to basically start learning to work and stuff like that. And then in Magus, I think the age is 13. I want to say, I think that once you do that, then you can set out on a journey to go and take this test, this exam to try to become a Kofna. And so yeah, but both of these series, I just really enjoy how both of these characters, for one, just like truly cherish their love of books. Um, so much so that sometimes, like, hey, if a book ends up getting damaged or mistreated or whatever, it will set them off. Especially mine from Bookworm, because she also kind of has that like this kind of like illness to where basically people who aren't of royal blood, if you were born with a excess of mana, then it's basically like a disease that will slowly kill you over time. And every time she gets like really frustrated or upset, it kind of causes this to kind of like flare up or whatever, as we kind of see throughout the series. She's constantly, she gets too worked up and this sickness overtakes her, then she's bedridden with fever and stuff for days, if not weeks at a time. And so, yeah, but both of these series are ones that I really, really, really loved and enjoyed. Like I said, I know a lot of people kind of get tired of isekais and stuff from time to time, but with the Ascendance of a Bookworm, I just loved how the central theme is not about all these people with OP powers and abilities. Now, yes, there are some people within the world that do have magic and stuff like that, but the core of the story is following this woman who is now this sickly girl on her journey to basically build her own library, and just all the trials and tribulations that she goes through along the way. Um, it is just such a awesome story, and like I said earlier, one thing I truly love about both of these series, and that I enjoy in series in general, is when characters have a loving support system to help them along the way. Because mine, like I said, she has her mother, father, and her sister, as well as some close friends that she has met along the way that will stand up and back her no matter what. And same thing with Theo and Magus, is that, he has his sister that loves and cares for him. He has his mentor that he meets along the way, and all these other characters that he kind of interacts and stuff as you go further throughout the series. But yeah, but both of these series, like I said, I highly recommend checking out. Ascendance of a Bookworm. Like I said, season 3 just started. I'm waiting a little bit because I had watched seasons 1 and 2 in dub and I enjoyed it. So I'm gonna see if I can wait and see, if they dub that soon. If not, I'll eventually get around to watching it. But yeah, I watched it on Crunchyroll. And then Magus of the Library, there are currently 5 volumes. For those of y'all that are watching the video version, y'all can see all 5 lined up behind me. There are currently 5 volumes out right now. Volume 6 isn't coming out until December of this year, December 2022. But I will say this is a very Magus of the Library is a very dense read, and what I mean by that is that it is very detailed in the story, the world building, character backgrounds, all that stuff. It's going to give it to you, but sometimes it is a lot of text sometimes, but it's one of those things where, like, if you take your time and you just go along for the journey or whatever, then, like I said, it just the amount of detail that they give you just brings this world and these characters even more so to life. So yeah, but yeah, go check out both of these series. I do hope that maybe someday Magus of the Library might maybe get an anime, because with Witch Hat Atelier recently getting a anime announcement, then it's like, okay, cool, that's finally getting an anime. So maybe, in the coming years or so, we'll hear something about Magus of the Library. But for now, go pick it up and check it out. But with that, I'm gonna end this here. Like I said, I just want to just kind of keep this nice and short, because like I said, I just really enjoyed both of these series and just wanted to do a little something to just kind of recommend and bring them to more people's attention, because like I said, I don't really see too many people talking about either of these series, especially Magus of the Library. But like I said, if you're somebody who is just looking for just something a little bit different to read or to watch, check out both of these series. Ascendance of a Bookworm, I'll watch that on Crunchyroll. And then, like I said, Magus of the Library, pick it up wherever, you buy your manga, whether it's in person or ordering online, because they are published by Kodansha. Kodansha published Magus of the Library. And I forgot to even say this, the author of Magus of the Library is Mitsu Uzumi. And let's see, for Ascendance of a Bookworm, the manga for that is done, or the light novels is done by Miya Kazuki. But let me see, who is doing the anime? Yeah, I've never even heard of this studio. Ajado Animation Works. Never heard of them. But yeah, that's who's doing the anime for Ascendance of a Bookworm. But enough of me rambling. Like I said, y'all go check these series out. And if you already have, let me know what you think of them. Have you read or watched either of these series? If so, share your thoughts down below. And like I said, be on the lookout soon for my spoiler discussion of Magus of the Library. And with that, I am done. As always, like I always say, treat yourself to something nice, read some manga, watch some anime, play some video games, and live your best life. And if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.